What's good, YouTube? Mase back with another video, and today we got something a little bit different from the norm. We're gonna try this little podcast thing out and see where it goes. But with me, I have my man William. What's going on, bro?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing all right, man. It's summertime. You know, this is considered the dead period, but when you love sports like us, there's always something to talk about.
I definitely agree. Like the NBA's been really, picking up some steam, with the free agencies and whatnot. Different movement, different player movement.
Absolutely. So speaking of free agency, that's definitely what we're going to talk about today. Voice our opinions. Kind of, what's your thoughts on NBA free agency? What are some transactions that you think stand out to you?
I would definitely say DeMar DeRozan going to the Kings. I think that was a great pickup for the Kings. I don't think it'll, win them a championship or nothing. I think it may take them, possibly take them to the Western Conference Finals, but at least the second round. But I think it's good because I think he'll bring really good leadership. I think he's one of those players. You've never heard anything bad said about him from like staff or other players. So I think it'll bring some good leadership for the future for the Kings.
I agree with that. Yeah, it's like I forget, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. DeMar DeRozan been in the league since 2009.
Yeah.
This is like going on year 16 for the dude.
Yeah.
So to still have that ability, and I know like with modern medicine and they do come in a little bit younger than back in the day, but usually back 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s basketball, by year 16, they were either already out of the league or they were pretty much kind of that end of the roster type of player. And we're seeing guys still sign big, huge deals. This deal, 3 years, $74 million. So he's still getting roughly close to $25 million a year. And he's going to be looked upon to, like you said, bring that leadership. But they going to want him to play as well. So. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So I'm looking here because it was a sign and trade, which seems like sign and trades are like, at least in the last 10 years or so, are becoming like way more
common. Yeah, they are. It's like players prefer it now. Even players prefer to get like signed and traded, or traded at least. You know what I'm saying?
Harrison Barnes and an unprotected 2031 pick swap to the Spurs. Chris Doherty, which former Pacer there, 2 second-round picks, and cash to the Chicago Bulls. What are you thinking about that? Basically, Harrison Barnes, a 2031 pick swap, and 2 second-round picks, basically, is the bulk of that.
I think that's, man, I hate when people say it, but it is kind of true sometimes. I think that's like next to nothing. They got next to nothing for him, or, they didn't really have to do much. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you start throwing in second-round picks, DeMar DeRozan's he's still an all-star player, so that's like...
Yeah, he's still an all-star caliber player at least. And I think with Chicago, because like you said, I mean, a pick swap in 2031, who knows what that's going to look like with the Kings or the Spurs. That's going to be well beyond DeMar DeRozan's days and probably everybody involved in this trade.
Exactly. Can I ask you one question, though? Because... these contracts have been, like baseball contracts, basically. So they signed DeMar DeRozan $74 million. So do you think that's fair, especially when you compare it to OG Anunoby, $200 million? It's like, bro, if I'm DeMar DeRozan, just like Paul George got a bit of a bag from Philly. So it's like DeMar DeRozan didn't try to negotiate that, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just when you look at the landscape.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at OG Anunoby's kind of a little bit more of the details of his contract.
$18 million. That's $18 million.
You said what?
It's $18 million. You said, what is that per year?
No way. $18 million. OG Anunoby's contract?
Yeah, I'm saying it's per year, average. The average. And that what you get per year? I'm looking up off the site. Or no, that's not his. Never mind. My bad. That's not his.
Yeah, I was about to say 5 divided by 200, and so that's more than 18.
Oh, my bad. I was looking at the one under. It's 42 million. Dang, bro, that's insane, man.
Yeah, so OG Anunoby just looking at so it's a little bit different of a contract, and I know that's because OG Anunoby's only 26, and he's a two-way type of guy. He can score 15 to 20, and he can lock down your best player who's technically just starting his prime.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can understand this contract basically getting him through his prime years, 26 to 31.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
42.5 million, so pretty good contract. But yeah, I mean, I think that the Kings can definitely, with De'Aaron Fox, you got Keegan Murray, Sabonis is still an all-star level player. I think it's solid. They're going to be more explosive offensively, I think, even with DeRozan turning 35 next month. So all-star season, 24 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. So I mean, it's kind of hard to pass that up if you're Sacramento.
Yeah. Especially since they're kind of like on the cusp, you know what I'm saying? I think they're one of the teams of the future. So
who, Sacramento?
Yeah, I think they're going to be.
Okay. Of the future, even with DeRozan at 35.
Well, I'm saying like after. I'm saying like like the future, you know what I'm saying? Like I think like give it maybe a couple years after DeRozan leaves. I bet you that really helps them out, you know what I'm saying? As long as they all keep their chemistry and don't, want to get traded.
Yeah, you know how that goes with the egos and everything. But yeah, that's the most recent. So that was pretty recent. Looks like it was 10:20 Eastern time. So I think that really caps off the big splashes. Yeah, I definitely would say that my favorite signing was Bronny James. I think, his impact, his skill that he presented in college.
I thought to say, bro. I really don't know if to go in or just to kind of be nice, man. No, I'm just playing, but his talent from
my thoughts about NBA free agency. I mean, just overall, it started off a little bit slow. But, with the guys at the top, really everybody's waiting for those guys. And once once Paul George signed with the Sixers, that's when pretty much everybody else began to make their moves happen. But, yeah, I think that's probably my most favorite signing overall. I think Playoff P, as he used to be called when he was here. But I do think that maybe just a new change of scenery, maybe the injury bug being around Kawhi Leonard and things like that, I think that might have rubbed off on him because just the two never played. So I'm hoping that it's not another situation where Embiid's hurt, Paul George is hurt, and, nothing comes from it. But I really think him coming back over to the East, and I definitely think with basically the Celtics bringing everybody back. I think Sixers, if they can stay healthy, they have the firepower, I think, overall with their big three and then their supporting cast. I think that they can challenge Celtics for the East. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think so. Only thing is, just like you said, with Embiid, like I really wouldn't be shocked. When you said that, the first thing that came to my mind was, bro, that could definitely happen. Them both just be injured or Embiid start getting more injured. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be shocked, man. But I think it's a good pickup. But, I just think Sixers, man, they've been kind of a top 5 team for like the last few years. And I don't know. I think their best year was a couple years ago when James Harden first got there. He was still had a little bit of juice in him. I think that was the best year, man. And then maybe you could even argue a couple years before that with Jimmy Butler. Klay Thompson, though, did you like that one?
Yeah, I did like the Klay Thompson one. I still think I don't think he's as far gone as a lot of people are making it to seem. Still averaged close to 20 points a game, 39% from the three-point line, which is still above average, and that's elite for a lot of those guys around his tier of talent. But that's a down year for his standards when you're shooting in the mid-40s with insane volume like him and Steph Curry do. 39% does seem like a fall off, but I still think that I think he's perfect because Kyrie and Luka, they're going to dribble, bring that defense in when they drive, and he's going to get a lot of open looks because he can score 50 and 8 dribbles for the entire game.
Yeah, I was just thinking it'd be good too if they got like another, semi-elite shooter. You know what I'm saying? Because that would really help them. Well, I guess what does Luca play again? We talked about that. We talked about that once. He played point power
Yeah,
forward.
people say point, but I mean, I'm always call him a small forward, kind of like with the LeBron James thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I remember us talking about that. Yeah, but I think, man, if they could just get like a little bit more depth, like we were talking about with Tim Hardaway, it's like if they could
Yeah,
maybe replace him with somebody.
he might have left. That's something I can definitely look up for
Yeah, I think.
sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked. But he's probably regretting leaving the Knicks, to be honest, at this point.
Tim Hardaway,
Yeah,
you think so?
he could be. Yeah, look what the Knicks are like. I mean, I know we just talked about Philly competing or contending with the Celtics. I think the Knicks definitely could, bro. Bro, if they weren't injured this year, I mean, I hate to say it, they're probably going to beat the Pacers, bro. Probably in
Yeah,
6 games, maybe 7. Well, actually, they almost did, and they were injured. So it's like if they were healthy, probably 6. Maybe even 5.
I can't deny that when I want to, but so yeah, they traded him to the Hardaway Jr. got traded to the Pistons, so that was basically a middle finger by
Yeah, yeah.
the Mavericks on that one.
Dang, bro.
Definitely.
That may be the end for him then,
It
bro.
might be because he was pretty upset. He was a little vocal and Hardaway Senior about things that are going on. And I know there was a game where he purposely didn't take a shot because he only got like 9 minutes that game or something like that. And we all know Hardaway Jr. is a gunner when he's in the game. So
Yeah.
he expressed some frustrations there. So it's probably been some animosity growing there in Dallas. So they basically, told him to go to hell and go to Detroit.
Bro,
Right off.
that's
So
the same thing I was saying. I was like, dang, man.
yeah, that was the ultimate middle finger by
Yeah,
them for sure.
bro, that's crazy. That's crazy. But still though, overall, man, yeah, I think that was a good pickup for Dallas because I think that just takes some pressure off of Clay. He's really just the third option now. So, but he's not like your regular third option because he's gonna be getting the ball a lot. You know what I'm saying? He could be if Luka and Kyrie play the same way they played this year.
What do you think about James Wiseman coming on over to the Pacers? Signing with the Pacers.
Yeah,
I think the details of that.
I think that's a good pickup, bro. I think the Pacers, just like with Sacramento, I think they're a team of the future too. But bro, I could see them honestly with the way Halliburton's playing and just kind of like even I'm surprised. I'll be honest, bro. I'm surprised they kept Miles Turner, man. To be honest, it's kind of crazy he's still on this ride with them because I thought they were gonna get rid of him a couple years ago.
From the late 2010s to until last season, he was pretty much in every trade rumor that involved any star player. He was always on that little block rumored that was going to get traded. So that's not crazy you say that at all.
Yeah, but no, I think it's a good pickup, man. I really do. I think, like I said, they're gonna be really good, like really good. As long as they don't get injured and keep that chemistry, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what it kind of comes down to the modern NBA. You got to keep chemistry and not be injured.
So yeah, James Wiseman. It looked like it was a 2-year deal. See what he's got. He was a top high school prospect. I think he was ESPN's #1 prospect coming into college, going to Memphis. And I think that little situation with Penny Hardaway and the money and all that stuff, I think that really messed up some of his growth and trajectory because
Yeah,
he only got to play like 5 or 6 games his freshman year.
yeah, man. And he was hyped up too. He was pretty
Yeah.
hyped up.
They were calling him the next. I heard David Robinson comparisons,
Yeah,
and they were expecting him by now. This is going into his 5th season. At this point, he kind of is what he is. I mean, you don't see too many guys break out after 5 years. They're players that start off slow, but you just kind of see he had those opportunities in Detroit. And I believe he played a career high 64 games this year, but he's just, a really raw guy. But he's only 23 years old, so he doesn't turn 24 until the end of next season. So he's still real young. We got guys in the draft this year that are 23 years old. If you want to put that in perspective, Dalton Connect with the Lakers, he's 23, and people are, oh, the Lakers got this person. He's going to come in and help. He averaged 20. Well, if James Wiseman played 5 years in college, he probably would have been averaging 25 and 10 as well.
Yeah,
at this point.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, Laker fans at this point, I'll say anything, bro.
Yeah.
Man, they've been in delusion since LeBron has been there. They've stayed in a state of delusion, man. But I think another underrated one is DeJounte Murray.
Oh yeah, DeJounte Murray.
Yeah,
going to New Orleans
for the Pelicans.
That's an underrated move. DeJounte Murray, I think, lost a little stock in Atlanta.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
you know that experiment didn't work. 2 seasons and they didn't get better at all as a duo or as a team. That it just wasn't a good fit. Those two undersized guards. He's kind of undersized for the two. He's like 6'4", 170 or something like that. So 2 undersized guards that don't play defense very well. I mean, it sounds like it was Portland all over again, except Portland actually made the playoffs with Lillard and
McCollum and Damian Lillard.
Yeah, they play both like 6'2", 6'3", no defense.
Yeah. Hey, they try though. I will say they kind of try. McCollum definitely tries.
Yeah, absolutely. Like he had the Pelicans as a playoff team.
Yeah.
Borderline the last 2 years he was there.
So. Yeah. Well, I definitely agree with you with the DeJounte Murray in Atlanta. Yeah, I was kind of wondering because if you kind of see, bro, it's like it seems like that's kind of coming back in a way. You know what I mean? But the point guards kind of have to know how to play together. Like you see that with Kyrie and Luka. So I kind of understood what they were trying to do. But yeah, man, I think honestly, if Atlanta was being like real, I think they probably would want to trade Trae Young because I think it'd be more Trae Young. Like I don't know, man. I don't really think Trae Young's as good as we all thought. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think he's good, but I think also I don't think he really enhances a team like that. Like I would want to get rid of him.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I don't think because I remember he was getting like Steph comparisons at one point, but that's like the things with Steph. I think people forget is that he's actually like a really good team player. You know what I'm saying? He moves the ball around. He's actually not a bad passer. I think as he's gotten older, he's gotten better at that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, he's more than just a shooter, bro. Way more than just a shooter. So. Yeah, I don't think Trae Young does that for a team.
Yeah, I don't like his play style. It turns a lot of people off.
Yeah.
Just overall. I do think he's that good though. I think he has the ability to be one of the top point guards, but he's just going to have to mature his play style. It's real reckless, horrible shot selection. That's why his efficiency is so poor. Even as good as he is as a shooter, really his 3-point percentage really isn't that good because he takes all these 30-yard or 30-feet bombs, stepping back 31-footers and stuff. Like, it's not winning basketball. It's good, and it's good for your stats when you dominate the ball as much as he does. You're going to get those assists, and the stat sheet is going to look good, but he's got to mature his game because he's got the talent.
Yeah.
So DeJounte Murray, I knew that was going to happen. I think a lot of us knew that just wasn't going to work. The Pelicans sending 2 first-round picks next year's 2025 from the Los Angeles Lakers and a 2027 selection, least favorable from either the Milwaukee Bucks or New Orleans-owned pick. And they're sending it to the Hawks. Looks like for Larry Nance Jr., E.J. Liddell, and guard Dyson Daniels, who was a young guy for New Orleans, high upside type of guy, just couldn't get the minutes, especially with New Orleans competing, trying to make the playoffs. You know how that goes sometimes. You just got to prioritize other things instead of development. So, number 8 pick just 2 years ago for New Orleans. Last year, about 6 points a game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. I think that he might end up becoming a really solid player. and with his height 6'7", actually this could be. Hey, this is one of those where if I'm right, I'm gonna pull this part of the video up. But Dyson Daniels may end up becoming a steal of this trade.
Hmm.
Really,
Yeah.
really talented guy coming out of college. And
Yeah.
I just think that he just didn't really get the opportunity because even in his limited minutes, I really like that. A steal and a half a game in only 22 minutes a game.
Hmm.
6 points. And then, this is a playoff team. 6 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. I think he's got some talent on solid efficiency, 45%.
Yeah.
So right now it looks like Atlanta just dumped them because they're rebuilding and they're trying to load up on picks. But they got a 6'7" wing, you know what I'm saying? And that's what they've been struggling with is size, especially at the 2.
Hmm.
Maybe 2 years from now, we might be saying, dang, Atlanta might have won this trade.
Yeah, I could definitely, I definitely agree. I could see that. I could definitely see that unless the Pelicans, do something major in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it seems like some of their players, like Zion, obviously McCollum, you know what I'm saying? They're role players. Like, if they step up, you never know. And if Zion, I don't know if he's ever going
Talking
to
about a ring?
I don't know about that, but I don't know if Zion's ever going to reach. I don't know if he's like pad, like, you know what I mean? Like, you were talking about a player like a few minutes ago, and you said he kind of is what. Oh, James Wiseman, he may be what he is.
Yeah, it is what he is.
It's like with Zion, I kind of wonder, are we going to see something different? Because I feel like if we see the same thing from last year, he probably is. He'll probably be very good, but maybe not. Reach that limit of all that hype. You know what I'm saying? All the hype he had.
Yeah, I mean, I still like Zion Williamson. I think he's clearly showing that he's like he's a superstar type player. He just needs to put it kind of like Trae Young. He just needs to put it all together, not necessarily with his play style, but with his mentality. He needs to love the game, and that part is kind of worrisome because you don't just start loving the game in the NBA when it's more business and you hear about it, the fun being taken out of the game. I don't think he loves it enough because he wouldn't be having all these weight issues.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, bro. I definitely agree. Somebody brought that up, that a lot of players just do it for the money now and they got the talent. And you can kind of see it, you know?
Ben Simmons. As soon as he got that second contract.
Yeah, he called it a day, man.
Yeah, he called it a day. I'm not playing no more. Sound like Kawhi.
Even the superstar.
He said at the same time. Well, that concludes this